Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Before I get into it, if you enjoy this video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe. Helps out the channel so very much and just kind of encourages me to keep going. On that note, oh my, Andor, it feels like, well, it has been forever. It's been like 2 years, but oh my goodness, has it been worth the wait. And for those wondering, yes, I typically do reactions to these episodes, but with us getting 3 drops in a single week and it being one story, I'd much prefer doing something like this where I can talk about all 3 episodes, and I'm probably just going to do that going forward because these I can get out the same night pretty easily, and quite frankly, the reviews / discussions are my favorite part of this channel anyway. And this will contain spoilers for all 3 episodes, so if you have not seen them yet, please just save this for later and come back once you've seen them. Alright, let's do this. I did not intend to watch all 3 of those episodes in a row, but here we are. Wow, that was a really depressing ending. Basically, 2 of our lead's best friends die. Wow. Okay, let's just unpack this. Funny thing is, my favorite storylines in these 3 episodes had nothing to do with Cassian. I mean, I liked the TIE fighter theft at the beginning. That was awesome. But after that, once he got to the planet and he was stuck with those gorillas that just basically were warring amongst themselves, it turned into Lord of the Flies, which, wow. I honestly lost interest in that storyline compared to what was going on with Mon and what was going on back on the farm planet. Between those 2 things, they were just so far more compelling to me, especially Mon's storyline. It's so incredibly tragic how imprisoned she is by her own influence and her own money, her own standing imprisons her. Not only that, but bringing someone in who obviously wasn't as stable as she thought, her friend that she's known her entire life, this person that she frankly loved. I get the impression, and I always have, that had she had a choice in marriage, probably would have been him rather than the looking for a nice word for her husband, don't have one. He's a douche. In fact, her whole family's kind of awful, I'm figuring out. Her daughter, I keep trying to give the benefit of the doubt, and every time I feel like the father has poisoned her so much against Mon that she's practically a lost cause at this point. And that actually dovetails directly into my whole point about, this friend, I forget his name right now. She really cared about him. She lit up when she saw him. This was a person she loved having in her life. And because she brought him in, he's going to die. Could she stop it? Maybe. But she also knows she shouldn't. That he has gone so far afield, there's no real saving him at this point. He's been talking to the gangster they didn't want to use, and he's so worried about the money he's losing because of the rebellion. Everything stacked against that guy surviving the wedding. Every time he uttered another sentence, it was like he was goading Luthen to kill him. It's like no matter what Mon does, hoping she can turn things around, make them better, they only get worse. And it's usually the person she's talking to's fault in most situations, because I don't know if it's because possibly she's built up this persona so much that people don't believe her when she's being genuine, but her own daughter. She was trying to give her daughter an out. Now, granted, I was listening in that scene and I thought Mon never actually asked her if she really wanted to go through with it. She just threw out the offer, which I do think was a bit of a mistake on Mon's part, because once I realized you did not ask her if she doesn't want to do this, you just assumed and made the offer. But she was doing it out of love. She was trying to make her daughter realize, this isn't required. But again, her daughter is so indoctrinated in their customs now because of the things that happened last season that she thinks is what she's supposed to do. even though Mon knows it's just a silly tradition and also knows how miserable she's been because of it. These 3 episodes also make me believe at the end, when we get to the finale, the last person standing in this series will be Cassian of his group. And that makes me sad, especially for Bix. I love Bix, and she's just, what that woman has been through, it's horrible. It's horrible. She'd already been through so much, and then in this episode, it just goes even further. I don't have the words for how disgusting she's been treated by the Empire. Because keep in mind, I think people forget this. The Empire isn't just racist. And I do mean against aliens, not, speciest, I guess. It's also sexist. And the whole sexist thing was hammered home last season when Dedra was talking to her boss, I can't think of his name right now, and he told her outright, it's rare for someone like her to have her position, meaning a woman. Make no mistakes, the Empire is fully sexist. All our troopers are male, most of the techs are male. There's a reason. Rarely do we see a female in uniform. And now we see how far that goes. Basically, to the Imperials, anybody not in a uniform is just an animal, a thing. They have no regard for life whatsoever. I've heard so many people argue, well, there are some good people in the Empire. You're either a part of the machine or you're not. And I'm not talking about spies or the woman at the beginning who loved her, the tech that was working on the TIE fighter. She was great. She was fantastic. Even then, she's not actually a part of the Empire. She's a corporate person. She's working for a weapons developer. She's not actually in the Empire. And I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that Cassian is now a card-carrying member of the rebellion. He's drank the Kool-Aid. He truly believes in the cause. And that was so great to see that had fully formed in the year since Marva's death. Also, wow, I didn't expect the tie-in to season 1, the Goran, I think that's the name. They were mentioned all the way back in season 1 in like the first few episodes, because Mon was working to try to help them out, because I think they're basically, the Empire was clamping down on them. And here we are a year later, well, year plus, considering that was the beginning of last season, and they are now going to be effectively wiped out. That planet is going to be gone. It will collapse under itself. And Dedra's plan is brilliant and evil. They're going to start a rebellion on that planet intentionally. So when they do take it over, it looks like they had no choice. And I am surprised that Krennic has such a prominent role in this season. I didn't expect him to have any ties to Cassian, but I did wonder what his ties to Dedra were going to be, and having her on this project for him. I hadn't really thought about the fact that Krennic wouldn't just be overseeing what was going on at the Death Star. He's got to oversee all the moving parts. He needs that very specific thing from the planet, so he's got to oversee how that happens. He's got to oversee, just like we saw in last year's prison episodes, how he's got to make sure those components are made. So he's got prisons making those components, effectively say slave labor. Ooh, and didn't realize we were going to start with episodes about undocumented workers being hunted down by a government. And that was written and probably shot a year ago. But going back to my extremely dour comment of earlier about how I feel like we're gonna lose every character in Cassian's life. We also just lost B. They didn't go back for B, so he's staying on that planet for the rest of his life with Brazo's partner, wife. Don't know what she was, but I liked them together and I really miss him already. I loved that character. And I think what we're going to see by the end of this series is a very hardened Cassian from all the loss. That's why I think we're going to lose everyone. Next season will be, the kid, or not next season, I mean the next series of episodes, the next year will be him. Then maybe the next is Bix. And then finally that takes us to the finale. And that would explain why Cassian is so hard at the beginning of Rogue One and willing to sacrifice any single person, because he's already lost everybody. So what does life even mean anymore unless it's in service of destroying the Empire? An empire that's taken everything. And what a great juxtaposition at the end of the episode, by the way, because Mon getting drunk and dancing was the saddest thing in the world. You had all these dilettantes, all these sycophants dancing around, having the best time of their life, enjoying all the revelries of being rich. While Mon's best friend's about to die, Cassian's best friend just died, and the rest of his family is now on the run, leaving everything they cared about. I'm sure I'm forgetting so much there. That was so much to unpack. Those 3 episodes were incredible. I mean, basically it was a movie. That was just a movie, and it was great. Oh, and very brief shout out to a Yavin origin story. Did not see that one coming. All right, what did I miss? Leave your comments below. Which of these was your favorite storyline this week? For me, I think it had to be Mon's storyline, but you may have been into Cassian's, I don't know. Do you think we might get surprised and Cassian's, maid family actually survives all this? And who do you think's gonna be worse in the end? Dedra or Cyril's mom? Whatever your thoughts, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, like I mentioned up top, please hit that like and subscribe. And before I go, as always, please take care of yourselves and please take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.